Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your boy A Dub.
And your boy Strizzy, welcome back. Slack fam. I almost said Secure the Bag fam, but kind of the same thing.
Same thing.
Yep,
Extended family. You
yep.
know what it is. This is Secure the Bag, and this will be our Week 17 NFL picks. Last week was rough for me, but you did tie for the lead in our Yahoo, so great job on that one.
Oh yeah,
Um,
forgot about that.
yeah, you did your thing. Just lost on the tiebreakers, which is going to become very important over these next few
Oh,
weeks for sure.
still trying to
Um,
get that dub. I was this close. That might have
yeah,
been it. That might have been it.
that might have been. I hope not. We still got 2 more weeks to try to make it happen. Um,
Done.
so so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm still trying to secure my ultimate victory. You know what I'm saying? My Super Bowl square for this year as well. So um, if you're not in the Yahoo League though, please join us. There's still time to participate. Whoever gets the most picks right each week gets a Super Bowl square, and also our Super Bowl squares are on sale now. They're going to be $5 a square, and we're trying to fill up that board so that way we can all have something to root for come Super Bowl Sunday. So holler at your boys on that, and yeah, hit up the Yahoo so you can win one for free if you win one of these last weeks. And we will continue our competition all the way through the playoffs. So as there's less games, it's going to be easier to win, but those tiebreakers are going to be very important
Very
if we have
crucial.
some ties. Yeah, so that's what's up. But how are you feeling about this week's picks so far, Strizzy? Have you taken a look? You did a little bit of research.
Yeah, I did a little research, what I'm saying, looking for get my legs in, some my parlays in or whatever. But it's tricky this week, man. I'll be honest, I don't like a lot of the spreads. The spreads are scaring me a little bit, you know what I mean? And so this week is definitely gonna be very interesting. We definitely got a lot of teams with some higher spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Some pretty good games going on. Your boys versus the Lions, which is another spread that I'm also a little worried about, you know what I mean? But a lot of some really good games, but a lot of also potential upset, like big upset games. Just looking at the spreads, you know what I mean. So this week might be tricky, man. This could be a week where some of the higher ones fall and some of the lower guys can kind of creep up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's gonna be kind of a crazy, but by this time of the year, Vegas definitely has things locked in, man. They're dialed in, and they have the line so close. They're ready to take our money. So we'll see if we can come up this week for sure.
Definitely,
but it's gonna be an
definitely.
interesting one. So let's go ahead and launch into it. Last week you did do much better than me. You had the 11 wins. I only had 8, so it was a rough week. So I'm trying to bounce back. But you will lead us into this week. So let's go ahead and start off with the first one of the week. We got Thursday night football tonight. The Jets at the Browns.
Yeah, man. I think the Browns get this one. I think they're still playing really really well. Honestly, they're probably playing their best football they've seen so far with Flacco. Honestly, surprisingly enough, man, he's only 4 touchdowns away from tying Deshaun Watson's total touchdowns since he's been with the Browns, and that's last year, this year. That's kind of crazy to me. I'm going
Yeah,
Browns.
I'm going Browns as well. They're definitely hot right now. They're playing good on offense, and that defense has been great all year.
Mm-hmm.
And man, seeing Amari Cooper like ball out this way has
Yeah.
really made me like wish that the Cowboys would have held on to him a little bit longer. We knew
Right.
he was a game changer, but it's like, dang, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's still balling out. He's a great receiver, so
Yeah.
I see they'll continue their role tonight. Moving into this weekend, we do have a Saturday game, and this is a good one. The Lions at the Cowboys.
Yeah, this one's really, really tricky for me, but I love Dallas at home. So if they were on the road, I'd be going Lions all the way. But since they're in Irvine, man, I'm going Dallas, and they need to get back on track before the playoffs start.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Dallas at home, they do need to get back on track after 2 tough losses on the road. We knew it was going to be hard to go on the road to Buffalo and Miami at this stage of the year,
For sure.
but to not win either of those games is rough. They got to come home and have a really good game against a playoff team. So I'm looking at the Cowboys at home. This should be a good bounce back for them. Sunday morning, this could help decide a division. We got the Titans at the Texans.
Yeah, you're right. I think this one real. Oh, I know Colts are in that mix too. You know what I mean? So it's tricky for this division right now. But I think Stroud's back. I know he's practicing in very limited capacity. I like Houston, man. Houston just been better, especially with Stroud back there. And the Titans are hot and cold, man. It's so hot and cold.
I agree. I'm trusting the Texans this time around. I think that they've had a really great season and they're ready to kind of continue that into the postseason. Hopefully, fingers
Yeah.
crossed. So they're still in the
Really.
wild card mix. They're still in the division mix. I like them in this game at home, especially too.
Yeah.
So
I love D'Amico Ryans for Coach of the Year too, man. What he's been able to do with this extremely young team in his first year is almost unheard of. So
Yeah,
congrats to him, man. A very, very successful year, whether they make the playoffs or not.
I agree. And it's scary what they might build on. So we'll see. We'll be watching them closely.
Facts.
Next up, we got Atlanta at Chicago.
Oh yeah, another tricky game, man. I think the Bucks are going to win the NFC South, and I think right now the Chicago Bears are just trying to just build, right? I think they're trying to build on the rest of this year. So I like Chicago in this one.
Yeah, I like Chicago as well. Fields is still trying to prove to them that they don't need to make a quarterback change, that they can build around him and use those high draft picks either to get more draft capital or to get him an offensive lineman and another wide receiver weapon.
Seriously.
So I'm really liking the Bears though in this spot, and the Falcons, man, they're just, you know what I'm saying, like they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy though. The Falcons is kind of wanting Fields, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that they'll be going after Fields this offseason if he is available. So that would be kind of interesting to see too.
Oh, most definitely. They're struggling. And anytime you start switching quarterbacks mid to end year, that's never a good sign. So I definitely would not want to see Justin Fields in our division, especially for the next 15 years or so. You know what I mean?
Right.
So young. And the Falcons have weapons. Honestly, their coaching staff is really holding them back. And I feel like they get a new coaching staff, they're going to be set to go. But them not being able to utilize Kyle Pitts, not being able to utilize Bijan Robinson, and the wide receiver London, that's crazy to me. They got too much talent to be wasting away, and the defense has been good. So
it's like what's the issue?
Exactly. Yeah. The new coaching staff and Justin Fields is real scary to me. You know, as a Panther fan.
No, I agree. We got SGG in the house. What's good? Thank you for being with us. Don't be afraid to drop your picks as we go. Next up, we got the Dolphins at the Ravens, the two top seeds in the AFC.
Yeah, man, this one almost seems like a trap game for me. They dismantled the 49ers last week, and they right now look like the best team in the league for me. But trap game or not, at home, I got to go Baltimore, man. They're riding really high.
Same. Like I think this is going to be tricky. I think it's going to be closer than it would appear.
Yeah.
But I am going Baltimore. Miami's just not quite the same on the road. But I think they are still a pretty good team, and they're a team that you don't maybe not want to see in the playoffs because they could score a lot of points.
Yeah, they lost Waddle, I think, for the rest of the season though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to hurt them pretty bad.
That's true. We'll see how that impact. That's going to be even more on Hill's shoulders for sure. Now that, and he's coming back from injury too.
So his ankle injury as well.
Yep. Next up, we've got the Saints at the Buccaneers.
Oh man, Buccaneers all the way. I think they're riding really high right now. I think they're going to take the division, like I said earlier. And I think that they want to continue this momentum. You know what I mean? They're playing really, really well. So I think they get the momentum moving into the playoffs and kind of taking that division.
I agree, man. Baker Mayfield resurgence. He's not done yet in the league. And we talked about this in the offseason. Like, this might be a sneaky little spot for him to go in. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really want to replace Tom Brady, but they have a good team still, and they're hot right now. So I like Tampa Bay at home in this one, and I do like them to get the division. Shay says Joe Flacco comeback player of the year. I think you gotta be, but it's just the short sample size.
That's the thing. I think that trips me out a little bit. I would love for what's his name for the Bills, the cornerback from the Bills. I'm trying to put on his name, but
from the heart thing, Hamlin.
Yeah, Hamlin. Yeah. I think that's kind of more of a feel good story. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So he might win it because of that. But Joe Flacco he's been great. It's just like you said, like it's been 3 games? This
4 games?
Fourth week, I think maybe. So it's like the sample size, like you said, is just a little too low. But we'll see. Like definitely
balling out.
Yeah, he's definitely balling out. So he's got everyone's attention, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Next up, New England at Buffalo.
I got Buffalo in a big win. Like I said, they have the potential right now to still take their division. You know what I mean? It's close. You know what I mean? But they can still win their division, I think. And they're playing their best football right now. And they want to. And I think a lot of people are talking about too Josh Allen potentially being MVP if he continues the numbers that he's putting up. So if he wins out, he has a shot at it.
Yeah.
But I'm going CMC get it.
Me too. I think it'll be awesome to see a non-quarterback get it, but I do think Buffalo's playing well. I'm going with them at home.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be surprising, man, if Bill Belichick has one last little remark for the Bills. He's owned them, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. So maybe he'll put together something special for them and pull a little upset, but I just can't call it. I'd love to see it, but I'm still going with the Bills. So.
Yeah.
Man, that would be cool though. All right, Battle of the Birds. We got the Cardinals at the Eagles.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the Cardinals are going to win.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I say this all the time. Like the NFL is not scripted, but it is definitely rigged. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not scripted, but it's definitely rigged. Especially being an avid sports gambler, man. And how crazy would it be for the Cardinals to miraculously beat them with the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles? And the spread is also again like 10 and a half, 11 points. I just feel like somehow the Cardinals are going to upset. My bad. No, that was long.
no, you're good. You're good. I love it. I would love to be right there with you, and I wouldn't be surprised, man. When we kept looking, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the Eagles, their final 4 games, there's no way they lose in their final 4, or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
You never know. This one's going to be the tricky one,
Yeah.
and if they do take the Cardinals for granted, you never know, man. They might get upset, but I am going to go with the Eagles at home, but I would not be surprised.
No, for sure. For sure.
There. All right, next up, your boys, the Panthers, going to Jacksonville in an interstate matchup.
Yeah, this one's really tricky too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got the Jaguars winning the game, but Jaguars have a lot of players questionable for this game. Trevor Lawrence being one of them. I still think he plays because I know they're not out of the playoff race yet either. But we'll see if I take the Panthers on the spread.
Yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville at home, but I do think this might end up being a close game. Panthers still trying to build, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They have nothing to lose for, so might as well. I don't know, though. I just don't know if they have the firepower. So.
Nah, they're not winning this game, I don't think. It's just the Jags have been also a very hot and cold team, kind of like the Titans, where they're losing games they shouldn't be losing. They don't look competitive in games that should be competitive. So, yeah, I got them winning, but I think 6.5 or 7 was the spread, and I think the defense of the Carolina Panthers can really keep this game somewhat close.
I feel it. All right, next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, man, Colts had a really big win last week against the struggling Chiefs offense. But I still like the Colts, man. I love what they're doing too. They're also playing for that AFC or AFC West title. So not AFC West,
South,
AFC South. So I like the Colts in this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. For some reason, I'm leaning Raiders with a little bit of an upset. I think that they're going to build off that momentum. And Pierce is for like I like what he's doing over there. Yeah. If he hasn't won the job already, I think he's still trying to prove that and get that job. So I'm going with the Raiders, man. I like the nastiness that they're showing.
Dude, I love it, man. They mentioned that we'd run through a wall for this guy, and I think a lot of times management needs to take that into account. Like when your players want to play for a coach, that says a lot. You know what I mean? It's one thing to just have like a really good coach, but when you find a guy that you just love playing for, it's kind of like the Chiefs with Andy Reid. You know what I mean? Like he's a player coach type of guy. And when you play for a coach like that, man, it just makes you play better. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you just get that extra oomph.
Exactly. And they're playing best football they played in a while.
For sure. This is kind of reminds me though of the Panthers last year, man. When at the end of the year with Wilkes, all of a sudden they started putting together performances. So, I'm going with the Raiders in this one. I'm a little upset on the road.
Give our man the job.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we got the Rams at the Giants.
Yeah, I got Rams all the way. They're playing really good right now. New York is basically all but eliminated from the playoffs right now, and the Rams are trying to get in. So I don't see them losing this game. And then they're also doing the whole, quarterback carousel thing again too. The Giants. So I'm going Rams.
Yeah, I don't know how much Tyrod will give them a lift. The Giants, I don't think it'll be enough. I'm going with the Rams. They're playing good football, and they're looking to be one of those sneaky hot teams that comes in as a wild card and makes some noise. So we'll see if they can make that happen. I do want to welcome Pops to the show as well. Good afternoon, Pops. Appreciate you jumping on, being with us. Next up, we've got the 49ers at the Commanders.
Yeah, as far as the money line goes, I'm taking the San Francisco. I think they're getting to a point, though, now where they're going to probably start trying to, reserve some players. Maybe some of them play, first half. If they're up by enough, they'll sit them again. But I know Trent Williams is also another guy that they want to get some rest in. He's their best lineman, and he's like 35 years old. So, get him some rest before the playoffs start.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is going to be a type of game where they can do both, right? They can definitely come out and win, get a better taste in their mouth after that last week's game. But then also, maybe take it easy and rest a little, guys, and we'll see. But they are still trying to secure that NFC seed. So, NFC 1 seed. So, we'll see. I think they definitely got to win these games for sure.
Definitely.
All right. Next up, Steelers at Seattle.
This is a tricky one for me. Like I want to take Seattle all the way, but Steelers are like they're either really, really bad or somehow they end up being like really good, and
Yeah.
they're also playing the quarterback carousel, man. So I'm thinking Seahawks at home, but like I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Steelers pulled an upset.
Same. Like, if George Pickens can go for a couple long ones, that changes the face of the game. Like last week, I mean, it really their offense is kind of boom or bust.
Yeah.
But Seattle at home is hard to pick against. Seattle does have a good team. They're looking to make the playoffs. So I'm going to go with Seattle, but I do think this will be a good one. And this is, two good, this is two good defenses, kind of physical defenses playing against each other. So that'll be an interesting one. Mason Rudolph is playing, right?
I think so.
I think they're not going back to Pickett. So I think Rudolph is starting this weekend again. So yeah, but Kenny Pickett's back at practice, but Mason Rudolph will be starting. Yeah.
So.
And Pops, yeah.
I'm not a big Rudolph fan either, Pops. I'm with you.
We still haven't forgot. We still haven't forgot.
Never
what I'm
saying?
Never forget. All right. Next up, we got the Bengals at the Chiefs.
Yeah, this one's so tricky for me. I feel like the Bengals really cooled down last week after getting destroyed by the Steelers. You know what I mean? And Kansas City, like no matter what, that offense is still really struggling. But I am taking KC. They at some point in time they got to get somewhat back right. You know what I mean? Even if it's just Patrick Mahomes getting back right? So I'm going KC.
Yeah, I'm going KC as well. You take away those turnovers for touchdowns, right? That's a totally different game last week, but their defense is still really good, the Chiefs, and that's what's holding them together. But man, we can only see so many more tantrums from the Chiefs. Like you got to do something. So I do expect them to have a better game though against a quality opponent this weekend. So
Max.
That's a tough one though. All right, next up we got the Chargers at the Broncos.
Yeah, I almost wish it was Tuesday because I really want to talk about the whole Broncos situation with Russell Wilson. But I don't see this getting any better. Like you look at Russell Wilson's numbers for the year, man, and his numbers are actually better than Patrick Mahomes. Like you know what I mean? Like, they're actually better. So I don't know why they're not winning. I don't think it's Russell Wilson's fault, honestly. But for whatever reason, it's just not coming together. But I like the Chargers. I think the Chargers win this game.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm going with the Chargers for sure. And my main reasoning is because they're playing games. Like the Broncos have a chance to make the playoffs still. Right. And they're fooling around with the salary cap implications of Russell Wilson potentially getting hurt or having guaranteed money on his contracts beyond next year's. Like when you start playing games like that, man, that means that you're worried about the wrong things. Like they're worried about the future instead of, actually winning now. So with that being said, I got to pick the Chargers because hopefully the NFL gods, they punish that type of thing. They don't like that type of they don't like that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be the Chargers. And yeah, man, Jarrett Stidham starting is so weird because he did the same thing last year when they benched Derek Carr. It's like Stidham's just waiting around for these, quarterbacks on their way out. That's how he gets his starts. It's not because of merit. It's not because of things he's doing in practice and looking too good. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, we'll just throw this guy in. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm definitely going with the Chargers on this one. Yeah, I don't like the way the Broncos are doing that. It's just bad business.
The offense has already been struggling, and if they think that Stidham's going to do better than what Russell Wilson is, crazy to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope they get their wake up call that they deserve, man, on that one. So go Chargers, go. All right, moving into Sunday Night Football, the last game of the week. There will be no Monday Night Football this year because, Monday is the first of the year. So Sunday night, New Year's Eve, we're closing out the last football game of 2023, but not of the year. But we got the Packers at the Vikings.
Yeah, this one's tricky too, man. The Vikings have been extremely competitive this year. Even with kind of a I won't say porous record, but not as good as we thought they'd be compared to like last year, right? But I do like them at home. I think they're trying, one last bang. I think Justin Jefferson finally like himself last week, and hopefully that continues. They did lose Hawkinson for IR, which is what's going to hurt. But I like the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going with Green Bay in this one. I definitely get what you're saying because the Vikings, I mean, I don't know, man. They've been in every game, but the quarterback thing just really, really hurt them this year. not having Kirk Cousins and then having inconsistent quarterback play behind them. They are
Yeah.
starting Jaron Hall this week, and I think that's going to make the difference. So I think that the Packers will win this. If anything, just for a throwback, man, they gotta remain relevant in their division. And this has been a topsy-turvy year for the Packers, but I think that they want to do a little bit something to build on. But it is crazy how the Vikings, it's hard to beat them at home, but I am going to go with the Packers in an upset on this one. So, all right, that's what's up. So that is all of our money line picks for all 16 games this weekend. And again, we have that Thursday, we have one Saturday, and then we have the jam-packed Sunday as we count down to 2024. So that was our money line picks. We're going to jump into our against the spread picks, which of course is just considering who will win the game with that adjusted score for those betting lines set by Vegas. So we're going to start off with Strizzy, and let's look at your bags.
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, I don't know why this game to me is just screaming. I don't know, maybe not even upset, but like it's closer than it's supposed to be. Like I said, like
it's a trap.
A trap game. Like the NFL just has these ways of having a little bit of fun, right? Like obviously the Cardinals should have never beat the Cowboys. Such a fluke game, like so insane to me that they beat them. And then what better for them to beat the Eagles too? The Eagles also have already wrapped up a playoff spot. They're locked in. So like it just, I don't know why I just have this feeling that even if they don't win this game, they're going to cover the 10 points.
Yeah, 10 points is a lot. So I like that.
Yeah, Bucks by a field goal at home against a division foe. Like I said, I think Bucks are going to start to try to at least run away with this division and get ready and get primed for the playoffs. Man, I think Bucks are playing so much better than the Saints to me right now. They're playing pretty good football on the offensive side of the ball.
I like that.
And then Kansas City at -10. Like I said, I don't know how well the offense gets going, but I think at some point in time, Patrick Mahomes is going to get going. And I think the defense is so good that like this game could end, 12 to, 3 or something. You know what I'm saying? And they still might cover, but I think they're going to be able to keep the Bengals at bay.
I feel it. All right. So you got a big time underdog, a big time overdog, and then that close Tampa Bay game. So I like that though. That's what's up. So we locked in with those. Marcus wasn't able to be with us today, but he did send in his locks. He likes Baltimore to at least cover that field goal spread against the Dolphins. We talked about it earlier. I think that should be okay. You know what I'm saying? I think that Baltimore will win, and they're looking like the best team in the league right now. So he likes Jacksonville big over the Panthers. That's going to be a close one, but with 7 points, I do think that Jacksonville will win that game. But that's going to be a close spread for sure. So we'll see on that one. And then he likes Seattle over the Steelers as well. So couple of home teams on those. And then for me, I was able to secure one bag last week. That's what's up. Seattle hooked me up. I'm going with the Patriots as a big time underdog, but I just feel like they'll be able to cover that 12-point spread for some reason, whether it's the cold or the defenses. I just think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Definitely Buffalo will win, but I like the Patriots to kind of keep it close. The Raiders on the road as an underdog against the Colts. Like I was saying, I just like what Pierce is doing. I think they win this game outright. So I definitely will take that kind of 3 points to cover me. And then lastly, Green Bay, a road underdog. But I just feel like Minnesota, the quarterback issues is going to catch up to them. And so I'm going triple underdog threat this week. And we'll see. We'll see. But I'm going to take those extra points, put them in my pocket, and hopefully that'll make it happen for me. But just for transparency's sake, of course, we got to show the records. And Strizzy with that 3, we were tied coming into this week. We've been very close over the past 3 or 4 weeks. But now taking a nice little lead, 3-game lead on me now after last week. So we'll see how we finish out, but definitely trying to finish strong and trying to stay above that like 66.5%. And then on the bag side, not doing too bad. We're trying to get at least 1 out of 3. So we're kind of keeping above that 300 mark too. So that's what it is. We'll go ahead and shut it down right there though. That was all of our picks for week 17. I can't believe we're down to the last 2 weeks of the NFL season. But we'll do our big show next Tuesday, recap all of the action. So come back and join us for that. That'll be Slack 227. And then next week we'll have our final full weekend of Secure the Bag. And next week will be tricky too. We'll see. We'll talk about who's locked up their playoff spots, who has something to play for, who doesn't. and we might see some interesting games next week too. But we appreciate you rocking with us as always. And yeah, don't forget to put your picks out on the Yahoo. There's still Super Bowl squares to be won. And if you're haven't won one like Strizzy or I, you can always buy one. Hit us up. You know what I'm saying? I know. So that's what it is.
For real.
Strizzy, you checking out any bowl games this weekend?
Yeah, man. Oklahoma plays tonight against U of A, so that'll be a big game for me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get one more dub before we start moving over into the SEC. You know what I mean? So it's just about to get tough. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get difficult.
It's gonna be really cool though when Texas and Oklahoma come in, because everybody's schedule looks just a little bit grittier in the SEC.
Dude. So. Every win is just gonna matter that much more. You know what I mean? Like seriously, you know, Texas and Oklahoma have been basically fighting for that division title between them the last couple of years. So going into the SEC, it'll be a lot easier to, not say a lot easier. Well, playoff implications are going to change too. Obviously, more teams are going to be able to get in, but I'm excited for that. Yeah, I was going to say Pops 2, Missouri versus Ohio State. That's going to be a really, really good, I think, low-scoring game, honestly. That Ohio State defense is really, really good this year. And then Missouri is, you know, playing in SEC. They're playing really well this year too. So that's another big one. And then also I can't wait for the your boys versus was it South Carolina? Florida State. Should also be a really, really good game too. I know Florida State is trying to. They're going to throw everything at y'all. I don't think they win that game, but you know they're going to throw everything they got at you guys just because they're trying to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be a good game too.
Yeah, I think it will be a good game, at least for the first half. But yeah, that Georgia-Florida State, I don't know why. I'm just having a feeling though, based on like the opt-outs on either side and things that are going, I just feel like Georgia's about to just obliterate them. Like,
I'm pretty sure that's what they want to do, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I know Florida State has a lot to prove, but I don't know. I'm not really too worried about them, man. I feel like Georgia's gonna be so motivated to come out.
I would be.
You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna come out hype. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come out hype, but like you said, at the end of it, Florida's gonna be too much for them. There's gonna be too much for them. Not Florida, sorry, Georgia's gonna be too much for them.
Yeah, for sure. So that'll be interesting though. But yes, definitely y'all enjoy the bowl games this weekend. Enjoy the NFL. And we appreciate you rocking with us, making your picks with us. And yeah, definitely that Missouri Ohio State should be a good one.
Yeah,
because that's a big statement for Missouri if they beat a team like Ohio State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just like
big time.
That would be really cool. And also, Pops does agree with Flacco, 300 yards plus in 3 straight games. That's pretty legit. So good stuff. But thank you guys for rocking with us. But until next week, it's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy, y'all.
Peace.